I be falling in my dreams. I got roses on my sleeves and scrapes all on my knees. Dropping out of college. No money in the mall, and you know that they be. I be falling in my dreams. I got roses on my sleeves and scrapes all on my knees. Dropping out of college. No money in the mall, and you know that they be. I'm insecure. I never ever wanted it. I'm so obscure. You know I always have it.
How is it going, ladies and gentlemen? Today, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to be teaching you everything you need to know about the invasive species Bighead Carp. Their appearance for the Bighead Carp. The Bighead Carp is a large filter feeding fish that can weigh up to a maximum of 110 pounds. They grow up to 4 feet in length.
That's quite big. Impressive.
They are a dark gray fish with black patches on the back and sides. They also have large upturned mouths without teeth. Remember that, don't have teeth. The eyes are right below the mouth, and they have a short keel between the pelvic and anal fins. They look pretty stupid, to be honest. They originated from southern and central China, and they were brought to the United States to They were imported to the United States in the early 1970s. And their purpose was to improve water quality in like little ponds and sewage ponds. Well, sewage lagoons as they're called. But the way they spread into rivers and other lakes and systems, because there was a bunch of floods that hit Minnesota, and they were able to spread and go to all these different areas and rivers. I mean, it mainly hit the lower Mississippi, and I don't think they've traveled much as up to central Minnesota where we are right now. But individual fish have been caught. There's no certainty of an established population. They probably will be able to travel up the Mississippi, and they're probably going to start traveling down into more of the southern states and central states. The threat to our Minnesota waters. Bighead carp cause recreational, economic, and ecological damage. They compete with the native mussels and species. They compete with the native mussels, larva fish, plankton, and paddlefish. They produce only in constant flowing water, so rivers, larger streams, stuff like that. Rivers mainly are where they will more heavily reproduce because it's always flowing. Sometimes streams can be blocked up and have flowage reduced. I'm not saying rivers can't, but streams are just more likely. The impact for Bighead carp is they primarily spread through the use and disposal, like
You're not trying enough for the pads.
Spit it out. You're a big boy. Use your big boy words.
They primarily spread through the use of disposal of live bait. The use and disposal of live bait. My bad. When just at the minnow stage or just the larva stage, Bighead carp can easily be mistaken. They can be mistaken, and they're hard to identify. And they're often mistaken for gizzard shad, emerald shiners. What else do I have? Moon eye, and that's it. Because you get it. You get the point. And the impact isn't as large on the environment as, let's say, silver carp or black carp or grass carp, but it can be. And it can be. It just can be. We don't want these threats in our Minnesota waters. Here's what you can do to prevent the spread of bighead carp. I was thinking of sexually transmitted diseases. So what the state is doing to kind of control this invasion, the state is trying to control this invasion. They have the DNR has a monitoring and removal crew, and they specialize in carp and invasive species, mainly just the carp, because they have the invasive carp action plan. I'll leave that in the description, and also going to leave the DNR website so you can read up on this yourself. But I mean, the monitoring and removal crew conduct standardized and random sampling to detect, monitor, and remove invasive carp from Minnesota waters, including larval stage to adult stages. Alright, what you can do to prevent the spread of it is by cleaning out your watercraft. That means live wells, pulling plugs, and getting it cleaned almost after every lake you go to. And that doesn't just go for bighead carp. That goes for zebra mussels and many other smaller invasive species that we don't want in many other of our lakes, rivers, etc. You can also, well, I just said that, draining boats before and after use. So if you haven't drained it, of course, we always are known to drain our boats, pull our plugs, drain our live wells after it. But I know some people who don't do that, and so make sure that you always have drained your boat and cleaned it off thoroughly. Dispose of your unwanted bait properly. What I'm trying to say is, don't throw it back in the lake, because that can be harmful. Usually, it's not a problem, but it can be. These are all coulds. This stuff that could happen. Probably not, except that it has happened, but the bighead carp population doesn't live that well in still waters. It needs to be flowing constantly. And lastly, you gotta dry, the DNR recommends this. You gotta dry your watercraft for 21 days before changing lakes. No one's gonna do that. I hope they realize no one's gonna do that. I wouldn't. I don't. I let it sit. The average time that I heard before is 7 days. Plus, I also like to clean off my boat and other watercraft with a power washer and feel the insides for zebra mussels and everything like that. It's just a good way to prevent spread. There's your video on bighead carp. If you want to read more, the link in the description will be
What did you say?
The DNR. The link for the DNR page will be in the you can look at the statistics here. Thanks for watching.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?